define this.
All the time or something.
How to set up.
What's your title on this one?
How to set up your bee yard.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. All right. Gee, it's over here too. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
God. Where's your? Is this your camera? Where's the camera?
Oh, that's what it is. I had the little thing on. Okay, sorry. I had on the super duper
I said it's the camera.
What? Well, I had it on.
Okay.
Hi,
that's
everybody.
Fixed. Okay.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna wait just a few minutes. And hello, Texter. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages, girl. Where you been? Whoa, Admos, haven't seen you in ages. Ooh. Okay, and Kelly, oh my God. Hey, Kelly and Mud Pie and gotcha, Eyes of My Heart. Hi, everybody. Guess what? Okay, so I'm going to tell you where we're going with this. You're sick? Oh my goodness. Okay, so you all can chat if you want and learn at the same time. I'm in my teacher mode, as you know, and my goal or our goal is, I'll be honest, I haven't checked my email yet, but when I do, I'm polishing up these presentations. They are on YouTube, and what I will do is just send you out the PDFs. And at the very end, I'll put them all together and email them out. I'll also put them on our Facebook page, which don't ask me where it is. I made it up, but it's out there. And hey, Cher, good to see you. And I also have an Instagram page, but at least what my goal is, what our goal is you know, you go to a lot of streams and you're like, what did they say? What did they say? No. We want you to have information in front of you and you'll be able to write down notes and whatnot. These are not written in stone. And like I said, many folks who have never even had a beehive or even thought about having a beehive have a lot of knowledge, just like, you know, you all, and we may have knowledge about an animal that we would never have, you know, so you just have to take everything, you know, in. You can't dismiss anything. Please, there's no such thing as the perfect beekeeper. All righty. Hi, Terry. So our first presentation was choosing your bees. Okay, remember we went through which bee is the right bee for your environment. And then after that, we had, okay, now that you know what kind of bee you want, how are you going to get them? Nuke, package, or swarm? And we went over the pitfalls of each one and the pluses of each one, okay? Tonight, we're rolling along, so you've chosen your bees according to their temperament and what you think you want, or what's the cheapest bee on the market, which it could be this day and age, or what's, you know, better for your area. Next, you've decided, what are you going to do? A package, a nuke, or swarm? I cannot honestly pronounce the type of bee I'm getting. What's the name of that bee, Mark? I don't know.
The one from
I want to say Sacagawea.
No. Saskatraz.
Folks, you know me. Saskatraz. Whatever.
Saskatraz.
Close.
Yeah.
I'll know when they get here. We do have 10 hives on order, 10 whatever nukes, but I'm getting this specific bee because I want to branch out. It's supposed to be really good in winter. And boy, our hives are taking a beating down there. And so, but they only sell them in packages. So this will be my first how can I say, time setting up a package. You know, I've read about it, I've trained on it, but I've never done it. And so it's going to be a learning experience for me. And I'm really excited. And we did find out, we're not going to give out too much information, but let's just say you can get bees. You can just get bees. I'll leave it at that. Okay, from a lot of different places that, you know, usually it's Italian, Carniolan, but there are a lot of other bees, and we went through all those. So I'm going to put up, you know, a little document. Remember, wrong mouse. Okay. I typed it. I read it. Did the best I could, folks. Hi, Mark Jones and Rusty. Hey, how's it going, Rusty? Rusty and those bees, boy. Okay. All right. As soon as this comes over in front of you, I'll start to read because I have my laptop here, and I'll be able to see when you have it. Oh, let's see. Anybody else? Ooh, Cher. What's Cher doing? Cher, honey, you have to get some bees. Hello, Danny. Okay. And Mud Pie Girl. Oh, you can't have bees, Mud Pie Girl? You know, while I'm waiting for this to come up over here, I don't know what the problem is. Because maybe you can go to your town and get an ordinance. Why is this not sharing? You know what? I know why, folks. You're not going to believe this. That's why they're saying me. Duh. All right, hold on, folks. I just figured out something. Duh. Okay, where's the little thing I need? There we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. It's a learning curve, folks. It's a learning curve. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, dear. I will say this. If you ever want to learn something, teach it. The best way to learn something is to teach it, okay? I am learning so much by doing this. It's fascinating, you know, and I've been studying this for several years now. Okay, so we're going to set up your bee yard. And a bee yard is just what it says. It's a yard where you have your bees. A fancy name for bee yard is apiary. I have a lot of people say, what does apiary mean? It's a bee yard, folks. Is that French? Apiary? German? French?
Don't know.
Okay, well, whatever it is, it's a fancy name for bee yard. Okay, so setting up your bee yard, blah, blah. And I'm going to read this out loud in case some of you are sharing valuable. Oh, I know this, though. Share, I can teach it. But, you know, I learn as I research this because I'm not just teaching this out of my head. And Cher, you do what I do. You research it. You know, you get books and you go online and everything and you teach it, you know, and you put it together. Okay. We have discussed the various types of bees and which form of new bees will work best for you. Now it is time to think about where you are going to set up your bee yard. Some folks who do not have ample space on their own property rent a spot on someone else's. Okay, folks, I did a spell check on this too, but it's a new Where is the hyphen? Is this it? Elsa's property, who has a lot of land and is not opposed to them setting up their bee yard there. This is where a bee club comes in handy because they sometimes have, you know, they'll sometimes be able to tell you people who will let you set up your bees there. Anyway, excuse me, if this is your decision, keep in mind the travel distance, time you will spend, as well as accessibility you will have to maintain your hives. Like if these people only, hi, eyes of my heart, if these people only want you there when they're there, you know, and they take a 2-week vacation or they're not there and it's the sunny part of the day, and then they come back around 6 o'clock and call you up and say, hi, you can come over now, and it's night. You're not going to go near your bees at night, okay? Or, hi, Gopher Green. Hi, Food Forest. You know, that's going to be a problem. So if you're going to rent or set them up someplace else, keep in mind, all right, how much access are you going to have to this place? When setting up your bee yard, be it 1, 2, or more hives, there are several things you will want to consider. It may not be possible for you to be able to have all of these factors just perfect. So do the best you can. Make your decisions based on your gut instinct and go for it. Your gut. Okay. Yes. What was Latin, Cher? I missed that. Okay. And I took Latin. Okay.
Apiary, probably.
Yeah, maybe apiary. Okay. So anyway, where was I? Oh, there it is. Trust your gut, folks. If you're reading in a book, do this. If you're seeing on YouTube, do this. But you know your bees and your gut instinct is telling you, no, I'm really not going to do that. I think something else will work. Trust your gut. Go with that inside feeling. Okay? That's what's guiding us. All right. Trust that. Most importantly, right here, folks. All right. Because I hear so many stories about people that have different animals first and then do this second. Know the laws, rules, regulations of your town, county, or state. That's supposed to be or, I don't know. Oh, that's cute. That's why I had the caps on. Or state. Okay. Very important. Very important. Talking with Hive Homestead, talking with people on here, we've learned that, like in Pennsylvania, Rick was telling us after 25 hives, you have to get a license. Well, we'd be in trouble this year. Okay. Something like that. Or in some towns, you can't do this. Or in some towns, you can't do that. Kelly would be happy to know we did check about Pennsylvania, and we think that it's okay to get a swarm down there, and we'll send you that information. We did research that for you. When it comes to things like this, like I mentioned in another chat, and I think it was Daryl's Philmora chat on Tuesday evenings at 8 o'clock on Two Family. I just happened to be there, and like I wanted to use my building across the way there on our property for my soap shop. And what I had to do was go to the town and get a permit, a special zoning thing and a special permit. And as long as nobody in the neighborhood cared, no problem. Same as the lovely couple across the street. They now have 6 Rhode Island Reds. They can't have a rooster because they don't have enough land. But they went to the town and they said, hi, we want chickens. And they said, fine, no problem, as long as nobody on your street cares. Try that. You may want to try that, okay? It's, hi, Grizz. You may want to try that, all right? Many towns, etc., may have rules and or regulations as far as property lines, roads, and other buildings. How close or far do you need to be? You can save yourself a lot of headaches up the road by first checking with your local region to find out about any laws about being a beekeeper in your area. I'm going to change that to regarding, but I'm going to leave it there now. So you want to check that out first. Now, you can do it, very quietly, ask around. You can go on the website. You may not want to go down there and make a scene, but you usually can find out. All right. I see a lot of people, especially in this area, getting exceptions. What can happen is if you do it first and then go ask for permission or they catch you, that doesn't work out good. Okay. And we've seen that here with ponds. You're supposed to have permission for your ponds, but if you don't ask first and you just do it, they're not happy. Okay. You may want your bee yard to be out of sight. Now, this is if you're in an urban area, especially. There is always the possibility of hysterical neighbors, even those who are 30 miles away. Folks, your bees aren't going to fly 30 miles, okay? But these people can be 30 miles away who, if and when they get stung, will claim it is your bees who did it. If your bee yard is going to be small, it might be a good idea to somehow screen the view of your beehives from your neighbors. Maybe just the sight of them is going to scare your neighbors. You never know, okay? Perhaps a nice looking tall fence would work. Keep in mind, you will want this to be several feet from your hives because even though it will conceal your hives, if it is too close, it may have an effect on the flight path of your bees. So you may solve one problem and create another because they may go, oh, we're not going to go there. We're going to go this way. And they'll end up, hi, Mountain Mama, they'll end up more in your neighbors for some reason, okay? Now, as far as the fence, you have to keep in mind your hives aren't going to be higher than your fence, and then you're going to have to go maybe get a zoning to the zoning board or something to get your fence. I also heard something about artificial shrubs. That sounded very intriguing to me. I don't know what they are, but if they had them online, I'm sure somebody sells them. All right, so those are the kind of the basics. Yes.
Mark Jones is saying when 50,000 bees show up at your neighbor's swimming pool for water, someone will figure it out.
Well, we tell them.
you want to prevent that by having water right near your
that's
hives.
down the way. Yeah, we're coming to that, Mark. Thank you for that, though. Yes, that did happen to Deek South. Yeah. So your hive arrangement. Once upon a time, beekeepers set up their hives very neatly, all in a row or rows, line them all up straight. Over time, they learned that this setup encouraged drifting. Bees would leave their hive, and when they returned, they would go to the wrong hive, like the hive next door or 2 hives down. Even if the hive accepted them, as they usually do, this may cause the spread of diseases. And also, depending on the extent of drifting, smaller hives may not get as much pollen as they need to grow. So that means if you have a smaller hive and you're feeding them sugar water and they're getting pollen and you're sprinkling pollen on bee patties and you're bulking them up, trying to bulk them up. Well, if they're taking off and coming back, okay, and they're going to the hive next door, that's not helping the little hive. So remember, when we talked about choosing a bee, some of those bees drift more than others. So if you have very little space and your hives are going to be close together and you think it's going to encourage drifting, see how it all fits together? You're going to go, well, now, gee, they may drift, but, and there's some things we're going to talk about, like right here, that maybe it'll stop it. If this is your only choice, like they have to be together, okay? One solution may be to paint the outside of the hives different bright colors. Be sure not to get any paint. I've got N-O, and I thought I ran this spell check too. Oh my goodness. Sorry, folks. Any paint inside the hive. Now, like I said, if it's on here, even though it sounds like, oh, well, we know that, or that's common sense, I'm putting stuff in here that I have heard of or have seen people do. Yeah, they're slopping it all over. Bees don't like that stuff, okay? And you put the bees back in there and they're going to swarm on you, okay? So you're going to want to paint your hives and let them dry really, really good. Nice bright colors, because bees will recognize the colors. That way they'll know which color to get back to, okay? Be sure not to get any paint anywhere inside the hives. And, this program. Okay, and let them dry completely before adding bees. Paint fumes are not especially healthy or pleasing to bees. Now, I put this next statement here because I didn't have anywhere to put it, and I just remembered it at the end of typing this whole thing up. When you're setting up your hives, and this is a little out of sequence, but have your hives tilted 1 inch forward so that any water that may accumulate in the hive can drain out. What kind of water, you may ask? Cher's asking a question. Okay. I don't know, Cher. That's hi, Mr. Rain. Hi, Huntress Warrior. So that, water's going to get in your hive. Condensation from the heat, not just from the cold. And also, it rains. I mean, those hives aren't waterproof. They do the best they can, but where else does it get in, dear? Anywhere.
Well, if there's any have to use your hives for a while,
slideshow. Oh, the slideshow was blurry. Yeah, that one page. Just this one page. Yeah, just this one page was moving on me. I'm going to go down from that. Is this one better? Yeah, that one page was blurring on me. I don't know, Mark. Anyway, is this one better, or how do I make it bigger? Oh, let's see. Is that one better? I'm reading. Should be. Okay. Now, positioning your hives. Where are you going to put them in your yard? Ideally, your hive's front, that's where they go in and out, should be facing southeast. Do not ask me what direction that is, because I don't know directions, okay? I carry a compass like I told you. But southeast, it says Y down here. In addition, it would also be ideal if your hives were not shaded from the early morning sun, because the sun warms the hives and wakes up the workers to head out on their daily task of collecting pollen, nectar, and water. So you want them somewhere the sun rises in the east. I don't know what the south has to do with it. Mark, you know? Is Mark telling us?
What are we talking about? What's your question?
Why the hives are going southeast.
They're supposed to, first, the entrance is supposed to face close to the rising sun so that they get early morning light, because there's a lot of bees out there and there's competition for nectar and pollen. It's not just them. They're fighting the other 1,000 types of bees, bumblebees, and flies.
Oh,
So
that's right.
They want to get an early start, and there's other reasons I just don't remember.
Yeah, remember, bees aren't the only foragers out there. By foraging, we mean going out looking for pollen and nectar. You've got your butterflies, you've got your bumblebees. You know, there's a lot of things out there that are pollinating. These just happen to be the ones that if they don't get this pollen and stuff, you know, there's a major problem.
Oh, the other thing is when bees swarm, they prefer something that has an opening on the south side. So bees naturally prefer something that has an opening in the south, which is where the sun is shining from.
Well, now, wait a minute.
Day, it arcs. It's usually
the sun rises
coming
in
from
the east.
South.
Okay. Doesn't the sun rise in the east?
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Okay. A lady's question coming from my mind, ladies. So then if you don't want them to swarm, face them north or west.
No. When they swarm, the place they go to
is south.
Has an opening facing the south. The place they go to.
Oh, okay. So
not where they leave from.
Well, I was asking why southeast. Okay, folks. So when you set up your swarm hives,
bees prefer
the southeast.
Prefer openings to the south, and the southeast gives them more of the morning sun.
Okay, so when you set up those traps out there, Grizz and everybody else, have them have the opening going south, and the bees will come right in. Okay, how about that? Now,
yeah, south-facing slope rain is good.
Okay, and free from the shade. Now, let's see, down, 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 down. Yeah, now here's something I learned. It has been sometimes shown that too much shade on your hives during the day may encourage the growth of small hive beetles. Yeah.
And if there's too much shade, the bees get cranky.
Oh,
you
really?
don't want cranky bees. Yep, they're more likely to be cranky. For some reason, they don't like being in the shade all the time.
Okay.
I don't have the all explanation on that one.
What? Okay, folks, I noticed here in the chat, Go for Green caught 6 swarms last year. Go for Green, you want to share that information? I'm going to speed it up here. There are people here that want to know. Could you just tell us, type in what you used? How you did that, okay? All right, carrying on here. How much space between your beehive boxes? You are going to TO space. To need ample space to work around your beehive boxes easily. Okay, you see me out there, okay, and I'm not, twiggy, and I've got my bee suit on, and I'm going between the boxes. This includes your equipment, that's not funny.
No, that's a comment. Keep going.
Okay, this includes your equipment. I don't care. This includes your equipment, which is usually your hive smoker and other equipment as your task required. For me, it's my leaf blower, it's my water, anything else I take down there. You have to be comfortable. We take a little cooler with ice and water, whatever. You will be working on your hive on both sides as well as back, maybe to place items. You notice in some of our streams, as your hives get bigger, even if you only have a box or something, you're going to be moving those frames. One of the easiest ways is to have, they call them hive holders or something, the fancy things going to cost
holders.
You. Frame holders.
It's a small little rack you put on the side of the hive. Once you open it, you can put a frame in it.
We use an empty box.
I haven't used that yet.
We use an empty box, and we set our frames on, what are those things my husband uses for construction? Those,
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, we set our stuff on there like a horse. My father used to call him a horse.
Yeah, like a sawhorse.
Like a sawhorse.
Quite.
Okay. So you're going to want to have space to walk around. Okay. You do not look. First of all, if you see something you don't like, and you don't want to be nervous or anything. And if you watch our streams, I've dropped them. They're not happy, but I've done it. Boom, and that's it. And then my husband looks at me and I go, I'm not running. I dropped him. Okay, I'm sorry, bees, and get the smoker out. Keep in mind, at some point, you're going to be lifting these. So, a couple of notes. 1 deep hive box filled with honey, bees, and brood weighs about 80 pounds. Keep in mind that one of those bees we told you about in the first lesson loves to make propolis. So you first got to get that propolis off of there, pry it apart, and then get the hive box off. Are you going to be working alone? Hi, Maria Weiss. Okay. If you're going to be working alone, then you're not going to want to pry away a lot of propolis. And you know, you have to decide, are there going to be two of us out there, one of us out there? Yes, dear.
You don't have to remove the propolis. You're simply breaking the boxes
Well,
apart.
what's the difference? You don't have to remove it, but you've got to break it
you're
open.
Saying removing propolis
when I say remove
scraping.
it, no, not scraping.
All they have to do is separate the box and move it.
When I separate the box and there's propolis on it, I scrape it so it doesn't stick back. Look at the look. I love you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what? I'll put it in a jar next year. 1 deep hive box filled with honeybees and brood weighs about 80 pounds. 80 pounds, folks. 1 medium super of honey is about 40 pounds. Now, you've seen me out there, all right? Hello, Marie. It's 90 degrees. All the equipment I'm using to stream is shutting down because of the heat. I'm sweating. I've got those cloths around my neck that are supposed to cool me. The bees aren't happy. They fry down the supers, all right? And I'm lifting bee boxes. You are going to want to take into consideration, how are you going to do this? And, you know, something that we thought we were going to straighten out because of our backs and put super duper deep, that didn't work out too good for us. So we're going back to square one. All right. Going down here. One law, which I used to do in the beginning and I no longer do. Never, ever, ever walk in front of or block your beehive box's entrance. Never, never. I don't care if you have to put something on the ground out there, like a little stake, so you won't go in front of it, because that's where they're coming and going, okay? And you block that and they're going to attack you. Because, well,
actually, the first thing they do, which it happened to me because one time I forgot. I turn around and there's 200 or 300 bees in the air in a flight pattern that waiting to get in the hive, and they're just waiting for this 747 to get out of their way.
Right. You know, that's their entrance. Hi, Louisiana Therapy. Okay. Beehives are not something you will be, excuse me, moving around like household furniture. Most likely, you will only be changing the type of and number of hive boxes on it. Remember, once O-N-C-E. There you go. Your hive begins to grow and fill up with bees and honey, they will get heavy. Keep in mind that when you are working with your beehive, you will be placing boxes to the side along with frames, and you will need this space very clear, like the space around you. You have to have space, okay? I just put this down there, and we're going to get more into this little note here when we get into equipment, but you must have sure footing when lifting and handling a beehive. You know, no flip-flops, no sandals. You know, you've got to have, if you have like a lightweight boot, I would recognize that, okay? I don't know, Kelly, we open our hives. Well, hi, Half Acre. I open my hives from the side. You got questions there. Mr. Rain's asking.
Yeah. I guess the best answer, Mr. Rain, is I don't know.
Wow, you come on.
I can say I have not seen that after reviewing quite a bit of information about beekeeping. To my knowledge, nobody uses that in our association here. Doesn't mean it's a bad idea, but you might be restricting sunshine on the hive.
He's thinking of winter, I think.
Oh, well.
I think he's thinking of winter. I don't know.
I thought, okay.
Okay. So now, next, what to set your hive boxes on. Folks, you can't put them on the ground. Okay. You will want your beehive to sit off of the ground at least 16 inches. That is especially true if you have raccoons. This is the height recommended for raccoons.
Raccoons?
Yeah, that's what I read in one of the things I was researching.
Oh, I've seen it for skunks, not raccoons.
Oh, well, 6 of 1, Mark.
Okay, go ahead.
Skunks. Skunks.
Right.
Okay. Good idea to put an old carpet. Yes, I know, Half Acre. We put nothing under there, and I think we did put some old one summer got so bad. Well, we go down and we cut it. Like sometimes when they're quiet, I'll have a real sharp pair of shears or something, and I'll go down, not anything motorized, and I'll cut it myself. Hi, Jenny, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. You will want to control weeds and other growth under your boxes. For one reason, the ants and other stuff you don't want will crawl right up the grass into your hive. It's like a stairway to heaven for them. One way to accomplish this is to lay down landscape fabric under the hive. Another possibility is to lay down layers of newspaper or cardboard, soak them, water, grizz, mountain water, and then lay down a somewhat thick layer of mulch on top. Now, I happen to be a heavy mulcher. Whenever I'm mulching, I'm just mulching and mulching. You know, my husband will come in and say, okay, I mulched that area. And I go, that's not mulched. And I go back with a whole nother bag. But I've never tried that. I don't know if anybody has, if you would share that you have. It's you know, apparently it works. The mulching. I don't know. I have not done it. I'm a little, I don't know. I don't know if I could. I mean, I guess you could. Anybody ever use that for like gardening or anything at the end of the year? Putting newspaper and cardboard down and then mulch. And then when you went back, you know, in the spring, all the weeds were dead. What do you do then? Can't leave it there. You know what I mean?
Newspaper will disintegrate.
Oh, the newspaper disintegrates?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, folks, that takes care of the newspaper. Okay. All right. Moving along. What to set your hive boxes on? You want them off the ground and you want to control the weeds. So we talked about the fabric. Do not use chemicals for weed control, folks, unless you have something that's going to work. We tried, what was it, salt and vinegar? Salt and vinegar, I think.
We haven't tried that yet.
I think I did. I tried salt and vinegar somewhere else. If you all know something else, please let me know. I tried that salt and vinegar. Did not work. And there was something else. Here is a picture down here. Grizz, for some reason, I got the feeling that you would be doing this. I don't know why. With the fabric, the fabric they're talking about that you put down. If you do this, it'll make life a lot easier. It really will, especially when it rains, because you won't have the problem of mud under there and evaporation.
They don't like the wheat fabric.
They don't like the wheat fabric? Okay.
Half acres and two family, they say it's not worth the money.
Really? Well, they did say cheap fabric. Okay. All right. Well, we welcome comments. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on. Water. Here we go with the water. Here you go, Mark Jones. Your honeybees will need a source of water. A lot of people don't realize this. Look around. Yeah. Remember when you're setting up your bee yard, look around. Where are you? Okay. Is there a ditch that is usually filled with water close to your hive? Remember, during hot weather, each hive may seek out up to 1 gallon of water a day. They will use this for cooling and curing the honey. That's a lot. So in our case, well, when we had 10, it would be 10 gallons a day. All right, so that's a lot of water. If you do not provide them with water, the results may be your neighbor's swimming pool, hose hookups that are leaking, and or sprinkling systems where the water may pool. They're going to go somewhere and find the water. That's where you could have a problem with your neighbor. Keep in mind, whatever your source, the bees will drown unless they have a platform like a leaf, etc., to land on and drink from. It may be necessary for you to provide a small pool, like a child's wading pool. You can get, I don't like the blow-up ones. I like the ones that are the hard impact plastic. In fact, we use that, a small one, for one of our dogs who's always in and out all summer. Okay, provide a small pool or tub of water in your bee yard for them. Be sure to toss in or on the water. I'll fix that. No, I don't want to do it now. On the water, small floating devices such as lightweight, smooth wood, Leaves, I'm not sure if the leaves will eventually sink, so maybe not leaves or twigs or whatever. You can encourage them to go to that source of water by adding a scent such as ready-made bee food, which smells something like one of those mints, lemongrass, I think. We sometimes notice this activity taking place along the edge of our pond. We'd be walking along and see the bees going down near the water because it's slopey, and they'll be on a leaf or something. Hi, June. Welcome. And okay, Kelly, you got 2 creeks. Make sure they're close enough that they know where they're going, okay? All right, so you're going to have water, folks. You're going to have water. And if you're not going to be there, like for a 2-week vacation or a 1-week vacation, those of you that take these summer vacations, God love you, put out a pool or a wash tub, something, and make sure you've got something on there, so they can sit on it. Protection from the wind. A nice breeze can be good and bad for your bees. During the warm summer months, it can help your beehives cool by helping with ventilation and moisture in the beehive. Can be both beneficial and detrimental to honeybee colonies, and that's double there. That shouldn't be in there. Ta-da! All right, ding. Okay, also a nice breeze adds to the comfort of you, the beekeeper, when you are inspecting your hives during the summer months. We don't have breezes. Well, we didn't have breezes last summer. If they were down there, I couldn't find them.
Well, sometimes we have strong winds. Bees don't like wind more than 15 miles per hour.
Right. So if it's more than...
That's the speed at which they fly, if they really want to fly fast.
Good, Kelly.
I've seen them flying in much stronger wind, but it's a fight for them.
Yeah. They don't like that. So if it's windy, well, keep in mind, folks, I went to a bee club meeting once, and there was this gentleman there that has been keeping bees for decades, since he was a little boy. And he said, well, it was a thunderstorm and I had to check the bees. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, if it's, sometimes if that's the only time you have to check them, you got to just do it. Okay. But in the cold winter months, the same light breezes might become much stronger and be hurtful to your beehives by helping to make them colder. That's what we're dealing with down there. Our beehives are out in the middle. Well, you see where they are. They're out there. And if they were in a neighborhood in a nice backyard where there were like homes to the side of us closer and to the back of us especially, okay, block the wind, they're not getting it. I mean, it's coming right across the pond, and crossing the pond is woods, and then past that is like acreage and acreage of cornfields. There's nothing there. They're just surrounded by this, okay? We will talk about preparing your hives for winter in an upcoming stream, but if there is a place you can set them up in the beginning that will be beneficial for all seasons, it may be the best course of action. Remember, you're not going to move these things around like furniture. And remember, those of you in the South, North Carolina, where it is snowing today, Georgia, Alabama, keep in mind, you may have winters like this. So kind of keep that in mind, all right? Think about yourself tending your bees. Think about yourself. Everything's bees, 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 bees. But think about yourself. You're the beekeeper. You're keeping the bees. Getting your bees set up in the best location possible is only one part of the equation. Much more important is the health and happiness of yourself, the beekeeper. I think you really, if you can have a balance between a male and a female beekeeper, it's good. Because I don't know. I'm not saying you have to. And because I'm not a man, I don't know what it's like just to be a man beekeeper out there. But I think having raised 3 children, I'm very maternal, like I am with our dogs, with the bees, and I get these looks because it's like they're not kids, they're bees, but still, the maternal side comes out. And it's like, but hi, pink kisses, it's like, oh, I want to just take care of my bees. Okay. Make sure your bee yard is not cluttered with items easy for you to trip on. That's my thing, because I trip all over the place now. Make sure you're not going to step over stuff. Make sure, we have a lot of space out here, but we have a lot of things that we do out here. So we have a lot of clutter sometimes. We got this over here and this piece of equipment and this one doing that. And it just makes a lot of stuff. As you see, when we go down there, we're taking like a riding mower with a big load hog in the back full of our bee equipment, and we're laying it all out. you get to know the area, but just be sure everything's set out in a logical pattern so you're not going to hurt yourself. Try to avoid areas you know are full of mosquitoes during the summer. So if you know the past 3 summers, if you go over to this side of the yard or this side of the yard, it's full of mosquitoes, don't set your bees up there. You're going to be over there in the middle of the mosquitoes trying to take care of your bees, okay? And if you are going to use something against the mosquitoes, again, no chemicals. About the strongest thing I've ever used, and it's an Avon product. I really shouldn't have said that, but just a minute. Okay, moving on. That's what I use. Okay. Try to avoid areas you know are full of mosquitoes during the summer. Okay. Try to avoid areas where you are rustling against bushes or worse, thorn bushes or poison ivy when you are working with your hives. Okay. It'll come right through that suit or somewhere. Bees don't care about that, but you will. Recently, and this was a surprise to me, recently there has been a growing concern for ticks and/or Lyme disease in bee yards. Be sure to protect yourself with natural repellent. Remember, no chemicals in your bee yard. Last summer was the first summer in decades that this area was hit by ticks. And I want to tell you, when we went to the vet, she said they've been coming in here like clockwork with ticks. Remember the dogs? Ticks. Anybody out there have that problem last summer with ticks? They were wild in this area, and I don't know why. I mean, they were on us when we went outside. They were everywhere. I don't know if it was the heat. I don't know if it was something that was spraying for something else. They were everywhere. Okay. Remember, bees are sensitive creatures. If you are irritated and or agitated when working with them, your movements will convey it, and they may act accordingly. And I have here to discuss lined up on frame and pheromone when one is accidentally killed. And what I mean by that is, if you have a headache and you just aren't feeling good and you go down there and you start working with those bees, and I don't know if they have a sixth sense. I don't want to get into that, but you're going to be agitated and they're going to know because you emit different pheromones when you're in different moods. And I don't understand that too much. If Heidi's here, she understands that stuff. I don't. But you're going to start emitting stuff. And if I will tell all beekeepers this, when you open your hive and you're nervous or you've got a headache and you haven't taken Tylenol or whatever, you open it up and you see how many bees have to be lined up? 6, 7, 3, I forget, on a frame.
There's no number.
If the bees are lined up on a frame looking at you.
If they're looking at you.
They're going to attack.
You want to just smoke them.
Yeah, you want to smoke them. They're not looking at you wondering what you're doing. Don't try to run and get your camera and take a picture. That's one of the things they're going to attack you. The other thing is, I read, try not to kill bees as you're working with them in the hives. It's unavoidable. You're going to not be able to do that. But when you kill one, it's going to send out a pheromone. And they're not going to be happy. So, you want to keep that in mind. Okay. I mean, there's not much you can do. That's why I'm myself a heavy smoker on the bees, smoking the bees heavy. And I also will spray them lightly with sugar water. Anything I can do to keep them calm. Okay. So now down here, extra thoughts and ideas. Congratulations. You are a beekeeper. Do not worry and try to be perfect. Don't do that, folks. None of us are perfect, okay? None of us. Over time, you will develop your own technique of beekeeping. Remember, what works for someone else, even someone down the street from you, is not you. And the slightest subtle change in yards, flowers, etc. available, the sun, which way are their frames facing? Do they get like there's a building next door shading it, can make a distinct difference. I mean, you can't compare. You can't say, well, they're getting all this. I must be doing something wrong. That's why I said, use your gut. What are your bees telling you? That's one of the magical things about keeping bees. Your bees work with you. You're going to have to learn what they want. You can't just say, well, it's like Well, like any other animal you have, they're going to want something different. Each hive is going to want something different. I mean, right? Each hive is distinctly different. No two hives are the same.
Mm-hmm.
And next, learn as much as you can and keep notes. A regular old composition notebook. Go down, number your hives, open them up, see what's, going on. Notice, are there bees flying in? Are there bees flying out? If you use an outside feeder, are they feeding? We'll go over the feeding in a coming up session, along with when you want to feed, stuff like that. It is usually recommended that you join a beekeeping club. Very highly recommended. There you may be able to seek out someone who will be your mentor. Our club here assigns one to new beekeepers the first year. You join up, hire new beekeepers, and you get a mentor for the year. And that's pretty much, how that happens. But you go to meetings, you're discussing what was this, what was that. And also, there's an email board that goes on where people are emailing each other, not just for swarms, but what this happened. Anybody know what this is? Sending pictures. Number 3, do not underestimate the damage varroa mites can and will do to your bees. You're going to have to know and study. It's not rocket science like computer things share. These are going to look like little black dots on your bees or in the bottom of your hive. What they're going to do to your bees, okay? When you do your hive inspections, keep an eye out for varroa mites. Also, we'll go over other predators in another session. But anything that doesn't look right, you're going to write it down. You're going to get on the phone. You're going to get on the internet. You're going to get on the phone. The end of the season in most locations, August, it will be time to test for them. We will cover this in a future stream, how you're going to test for varroa mites. Very easy. It's just using confectionery sugar and a canning jar, okay? Or you can use alcohol and a canning jar if you don't mind killing the bees in there. It's however you want to do it. 4, learn basic beekeeping language. Know what the terms nuke, package, cluster, brood, swarm cells, superseder cells, swarm, etc. mean. You call somebody up, you're going to go, hi, and I got this many superseders. People are going to start asking you questions. Well, I don't know. If you're sitting there like, well, I don't know. It's this, it's that. You're going to have to be able to tell them. If you can't tell them, at least, here, let me use the mouse, at least take a picture. And we'll give you contact information. We can try to get Southern Arc on board, your own beekeeper. Mark Jones, he's a beekeeper. I know Pickett's a beekeeper. We have a lot of beekeepers here, folks. We're not the only ones. We're just the only ones out here doing this. But there's a lot of us, okay, in this nice little circle. Anyone that used to have bees, anyone that studies bees, we should just make up some kind of a board or something. Hey, we need help. Like maybe we can get our Facebook page activated by the time people get bees, because you're going to need instant help. Like, what's this? What's this? What?
That's supersedure. It's URE.
Oh, UDURE?
Yeah.
EDURE. Oh,
Take the last R off.
I know. Okay, there you go. Yeah. All right, close. Okay, what?
It's okay.
Okay, next. Know what they look like, so you'll be able to explain to another beekeeper what is going on inside your hive if you need help, okay? You can even call up and say, hi, my bees are gone. Oh, well, they're going to probably ask, is there a queen bee cell there? You don't know what you're looking at. You might knock it off and say, well, I don't want that here. It's a bug, okay? 5, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. I cannot say that enough. Trust yourself. Have confidence in yourself and your ability to be a beekeeper. We've all seen this, the sight of dead bees. The sight of dead bees hurts and is discouraging, but it does not mean you are a failure. You're not a failure. I've killed them off. We've done all kinds of things back there. Not killed YouTube. We've had unfortunate situations where the bees have gone to sleep forever and or taken off or something. It happens. I mean, beekeepers that have hundreds of hives, it happens. They open one up. Number 6, enjoy your bees and get to know them. Watch your hives. Notice your bees' patterns. Look for bees coming back to their hive with pollen in the pockets on their legs. We have a picture of this somewhere on our channel, somewhere, where, you know, when you see close-up pictures of bees and they have those big yellow bulges on their legs, they're coming back with pollen in those little pockets from having been out foraging. Try to find the queen bee, but if you can't, and you see brood that is uncapped, know that she has been there 3 days ago. You're going to want to know the difference between capped brood and open brood. We'll get to that later. Try to distinguish the difference between drone brood and worker bee brood. Because if you open up your hive and you can't find the queen and you've got 4 frames of this beautiful brood, but it's all drones and you don't know what it's supposed to look like, and you say, oh, things are fine, queen must be in here, your hive is dying right before your eyes because those little bees are going to be useless. Okay? Most of all, have fun and remember, there, T-H-E-R, there's an E on there. Okay, E. There is no such thing as the perfect beekeeper. Anybody that tells you there is, turn the other way and start running. It does not exist. Now, like I said, I have to spruce this up just a little. These are not mine to keep. These are for you. I'm going to go back over here. Ta-da! And, you know, we're going to, I mean, since it's winter, stop. Since it's winter everywhere, hi! Since it's winter everywhere, I wanted to take this opportunity to teach and to give you something in your hand. I'm trying to get these attached to our channel. I have someone I hope will help me. The way they explained it to me was the perfect way. It just went shoo over my head, dear. Yeah. It didn't even go in my ears. So there has to be a way that I can do that. But I'm not going to mail them U.S. mail, but I will email them to you. And that way you can make up a little set, or, you know, I'll send them all out at the end. Any questions? Okay, next week we are going to be going into it. I mean, does everybody feel comfortable with bee equipment, or do you want me to touch on that? I mean, what is it that you want? Hey, Deep South. Hi. Oh yeah, we're the bee people. Yes, there is. What is it, Kelly? Predators. Good evening. Hi, just in Idaho. Good to see you. What topic? Kelly's going to tell us what. Deep South you want us to touch on? That would be great. What would be great? Oh, Half Acre said something would be great. Oh, getting the... Oh, that's just Snoopy, folks. For Christmas. Topics, because it's going to be, you know, bee equipment is kind of a suit, you know, your shoes, your gloves, your hat, you know, your smoker. I mean, what? Equipment is a good topic to touch on. Okay, we're going to zoom, but equipment is kind of fast. I'll have 2. We'll do equipment and something else. I'm trying to keep it in order. I lost a hive during the last, I thought he said during the last stream. During the last, oh no, Mark, where are you? Okay, Mark, I have a few questions for you. How high was that hive? We're learning, everybody here. Mark,
where is he?
Mark, where are you? I think he's in southern Indiana, Illinois, one of those I states. Mark, can you please tell us where you are and how high that hive was, like 2 deeps? Oh boy. Yeah, see, that's what we're thinking. Oh boy. Oh, I know. And oh boy. Huh? See, he's probably where he can go out there and inspect them.
See, that's the problem.
I know.
This one is so cold, you've got good bees,
yes,
but they can't get to the honey.
Yeah, that is the Charlie Brown song, To Family. We have a clock up here. Everything in this house, in fact, I told my sister this. I was on the phone with her. makes a sound. Like that's a cuckoo clock, and it's still up for Christmas. It's got like Christmas trees and stuff, and like 10 minutes before or whatever, Snoopy comes out and plays that. And then right after that, this one up here goes off, and it's a country clock, and there's a rooster on the side, and that comes out and goes like a rooster. Do, 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 do. I should go play it now. You'll hear it. For the tractor comes out. So
Mark Jones only had 2 deeps.
Ooh.
Yep. Too cold.
Oh, were they wrapped in anything, Mark Jones? Ooh. And where are you too? Jeez, I know. I will say we have just a few minutes before I'm gonna go play this clock. I'm gonna go play the clock, okay, ladies? Can you please put up, Mark, so my husband can see it? Where you are, and did you have your box protected? Ladies, I'm gonna go play the clock ahead. Tell them to listen, because it's right over here. Listen up, ladies.
Okay, we got a clock coming up here. Another one.
Okay, ladies, did you hear that? We don't wrap. Ooh.
Yeah, Mark, there's nothing wrong with 2 deeps. We're just having a debate here internally about if the height of the hive affects their ability to maintain heat. But yeah.
And what's going to happen is when when Christmas is over with, and I got 1 minute, I'm going to take down Charlie Brown, and Hannah the cow goes up. So you'll hear moo instead of like I said, everything in here makes, I'm just a country girl. I have all this country stuff around. It's definitely an old-timey. See, everything's old-timey country. And so I think that's about it. And this has been fun. Thank you all for coming. I am totally enjoying this. I absolutely love teaching, and we are gonna pull something together. Grizz, you're in charge. I don't know who else I can gather. I'll touch base with Country Arc. I think if I can just get our Facebook page up, Mark, I think that'll do it. Okay. I think that'll do it. And then people can, you can join there and send your questions in there, and then you won't be alone. Okay. And then if you want to join another bee, a bee club or something, you won't be alone. That's the worst thing, being alone. But be prepared to send pictures, videos, or something. Okay. Anything like that. If we don't know, we'll pass it on. Okay. We'll find out. We'll say, hey, what's this? Okay. All right. That's about it. Yes. Any questions?
Backwoods Billy.
Hi, Backwoods Billy.
If you are in, you're in.
Thanks,
looks like Ray. Maryland. Yeah, the general consensus that I've seen is you don't want to get bees further south from where you actually live, because they're not. You want bees that come from a hive or a queen that overwintered and has established their durability in your climate.
Right. That's the idea. Ideal.
That is the idea.
However, a lot of beekeepers, when I'm calling around checking for bees, I'm finding out, whoa, we're up here in the north, but we get our bees from the south. So, and we're looking into what are those queens called, and then we got to go.
Saskatraz.
No, not the bees, the queens. The initials. Those special queens.
VSH.
VSH.
Varroa sensitive
hygienic queens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queens that will make brood that will be less susceptible to varroa mites, except that isn't our problem, it's the comb. Okay, everybody, bye. And we will see you next week with an exciting topic, probably equipment. I think that's next. And then I'll have another one in the backup. But this is fun. And, you know, we'll be going down to the bee yard too. And you never know what we're going to see down there. Okay? Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, my special, lovely moderators. Kelly, Cher, I love you, ladies. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.